Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery, IIMFL and Smart Money Alliance. We get together most weekday mornings around 8 o'clock Central or a minute or so before to talk with our distribution partners. We have a number of different types of distribution partners, technically three. We have affiliates. Who wouldn't want to be an affiliate? It's free and easy. We have our credit literacy educators who are focused on our credit boost program. They're earning $300 to $500 on average just by simply referring people in with no selling, just education and awareness building. And then we have the cream of the crop, which are joint venture partners. They are also credit literacy educators by default, but they are in a 50-50 net revenue split. What we're going to talk about today is some practical ideas to educate to fill your funnel. And I'm going to start by showing you a few examples of promotional pieces. And this works really, really well to fill your credit boost funnel. So let's look at a couple examples and then we'll go to the agenda. What you see here, it was a presentation done mid-year last year by two loan officers. And they did it online because it was after the pandemic hit, but it addressed home buying and credit repair. So remember, when it comes to credit, most people don't want better credit just for a better credit score. They want the utility of having better credit, which means it allows them to either save money or even just get approved for certain types of financed arrangements. In the consumer marketplace, it's certainly getting a home. That's the primary motivator. I've worked in the credit repair industry for quite a few years, and I can tell you that's what the big credit repair companies do is they focus on marketing to mortgage loan officers, even more so than realtors, because it's the mortgage loan officer that's running the credit and seeing when there are deficiencies. But you can certainly market to loan officers and or realtors to reach that segment of the target audience. And so in this case, this was online. They used Eventbrite, just like we recommend. Now, in this case, if you're not a realtor or a loan officer, this is an opportunity to team up with someone that is. That gives you more credibility. It's addressing a broader spectrum, and we'll look at just some credit workshops examples in a moment, but this would be a home buying seminar addressing credit repair. So that's an example of something that you could do. Secondly, here is just here is both a first-time home buyers and credit repair workshop, and it was done the year prior, and by this lovely young lady. Another example is one that was held at the Holiday Inn. This one had a fee attached to it. This young lady charged $40 per person and registered, covered the home buying process, but also credit repair. And so again, a lot of people that are motivated to improve their credit are motivated because they want to own a home. And so these are some examples, and we're going to talk more, but these are some examples of how to fill your funnel of credit boost prospects by going out and addressing that target audience, bad credit potential home buyers. All right, so let's get up here and actually look at our agenda for today. So we are relaunching. We used to do this quite often. And I told you, I used to go to apartment complexes. That was my favorite. I was a full-time high school teacher, taught business and computer programming. And I would get invited by local apartment complexes to go in and teach about credit. And at that time, it was in person. It'd usually be like in their community room. They would handle promoting it out to their residents, and they would usually provide snacks and foods. And I'd come in and be the guest speaker and educate on credit, and then offer to assist them with our credit solution afterwards. And so that is something that I'd like you to consider doing, is thinking about beginning to set up workshops, Credit 101 workshops, whether they be in person or online, doesn't matter. And then let's talk more about that. So the concept is to teach a 1-hour workshop. We'll provide you the content on how credit works, because a lot of people don't know, and the benefits of adding new positive credit. So 2 important learning objectives there. We need to teach how credit works. And then secondly, we need to make sure that they know about the benefits of adding positive credit, because that's usually not talked about, right? Most people just want to pitch credit repair, which is fee-based to remove derogatory. And if you do that, that's fine. That's not what we do. What we do is no advance fee, add positive to boost scores quickly. So teaching 1-hour workshops, and these are taught by our credit literacy educators. Our affiliates don't teach these. Affiliates just refer in and really have no other involvement. But just as the third word in credit literacy educator suggests, credit literacy educators can very well be involved with the education process. These can be taught in person or online. Right now, if you're in an area that has restrictions, then certainly teaching online would be most convenient. But I think you'll find the in-person probably the most enjoyable, and you'll have the highest conversion rate. But you can do either or, in person or online. We want to work with hosts to just set up a credit repair credit 101 workshop, not credit repair, but a credit 101 workshop, and try to drive people into it is something that some of you could do, but I think many of us would struggle to get the butts in the seats. So instead, working with hosts makes all the sense in the world. And again, I gave you examples of how I went out to apartments, and also I've done it many times with churches. So you approach the pastor or whomever would be the point of contact within the church, let them know that you're working with a 501c3 nonprofit, and we'd like to come in and teach about credit. And you can clarify, just like I always do, we're not there to sell credit repair. As a 501c3, it's part of our mission statement to increase financial literacy, which includes understanding how credit works. And for those individuals that could benefit, we can do a free credit analysis. And then if they qualify, we can enroll them in the Credit Boost program with no upfront cost. People like that. That sounds really good, right? Free credit analysis and no upfront cost for the Credit Boost. So you can work with a variety of different hosts, but I'm going to separate in this presentation hosts from key influencers. Sometimes those can be overlapping, but key influencers is really thinking about people that would help teach it with you. So, maybe this is a picture of you, and then this is a picture of Dan or whomever, the realtor or loan officer that would like to teach with you, because they're typically looking for more clients. And of course, you're looking for people to educate and help with Credit Boost. So in this concept, host would be an organization that has a sphere of influence and space, if you're doing in person, where key influencers really in the credit space could be auto dealerships. You've heard me talk about manufactured home lots. I've gone out to Palm Harbor Homes and Clayton Homes and privately owned manufactured home, AKA mobile homes. And they often face clients that are wanting to purchase from them, but have a credit issue. And so you can become a resource for them. And that, let's say that you approach a loan officer or a realtor and they say, well, sure, I have quite a few clients that have credit challenges, but I don't really want to do an in-person workshop or online workshop. That's not really my thing. Well, great. You can just refer them to me, and you give them your landing page and they can just refer people to you. So it's kind of an either or. Hey, can I help the people that need a credit improvement that you deal with, either through collaborative education or just send them to my landing page, meaning your landing page, of course. So this is a great way to fill your sales funnel. We talk about education, education, education. So we're relaunching the Credit 101 workshop to give you the content to teach. And it's good stuff, nothing controversial. But of course, at the end, the call to action is to get a free credit analysis. We can pull their credit, soft pull, no cost to them, analyze their credit, and in most cases, get them enrolled in the credit boost. Now, if you're following the best practice, you should be building a team of credit literacy educators. We're not MLM, we're not network marketing, but certainly having more people going out and educating and enrolling clients is powerful. And then that generates outstanding overrides for you. So you should, in my opinion, you should be building a team of educators and helping support and assist them. And so this is probably a goal that you would want to have. I would have 2 goals for each credit literacy educator that I work with, subject to their buy-in. The first of which is, let's have a goal of 1 submission a day, 30 a month, and that's going to generate $9 grand a month for them, $3 grand a month override for you. And then secondly, if they're willing to teach, ask them to set up 1 credit 101 workshop a month. And frankly, this can help fill the funnel for the other goal even. If you're interested in teaching the Credit 101 workshops, let us know, email me, and then I can provide you the content and get you prepped up to do it. So with that, I want to open it up, because what we need to do is make sure that these morning trainings are very practical. It's an exchange of ideas and best practices, but it's only worthwhile if, number 1, you ask questions if you don't understand, and number 2 is if you execute. So if you are a credit literacy educator and or a joint venture incubator partner, and if you're not on track to hit your numbers this month, which would mean 30 deals generating around $9,000 to $10,000 for you in commissions, then this is something I'd really, really like you to consider, because what you're doing right now isn't on track for the goal. This could supplement it. Okay, so we've got Anna Marie, Anthony, Barry, Beatrice, Billy, Kwong, Dion, Mark, James, Joseph, Josh, another Mark, Robert, Simone, Theo, Will, and others. What questions, comments, feedback, criticism do any of you have about this? All right, Tony asked 2 things. Do we provide the content for the workshop? Yes, sir, we do. And then Tony also asked, do we have a promotional flyer for this? Yes, sir, we do. And so if you're going to be teaching the Credit 101 workshops, Tony, or others, you're going to email us and let us know that you want to be part of the educational team, and then we can support you in that. So again, credit is important in our society. However, most people are motivated to do something about their credit when they're ready to use it, or furthermore, when they get denied for something. So the best client you could ever get referred is someone that just got declined for a mortgage, got declined for a car loan, got declined for a business loan, because they're obviously ready to go finance something or get financing, and they were unable to. So by working with key influencers, you can create that funnel, but also by educating, we can start to reach a broader audience. And obviously those that attend are kind of pre-qualified because they're attending a home buyer's workshop that also addresses credit repair, in this case, maybe even cupcakes. So on the credit boost side, it's not just about people wanting to buy homes. Second in line would probably be those that are looking to buy a car. Some people just want better credit because they know it's a smart thing to do. And then, of course, there's the whole aspect of those that want to start or grow a business. So I've got Elon asking, well, how does this fit into access to capital? Great question, Elon. So when attendees come to the Credit 101 workshop, now, if it's marketed as a home buyer's workshop, you're not going to really attract entrepreneurs. So it would be more of a generic credit workshop, of course. But the point is, you're going to have on the registration form, like on the Eventbrite or however you're doing it, you're going to ask a probing question. Why is better credit important to you? Check box 1, to get a home. Check box 2, to finance a car. Check box 3, to get financing to start or grow a business, right? So you could very well build a funnel of access to capital clients through this, because those individuals have a barrier, credit barrier, of being able to get financing. So as long as on your registration form, you're asking what's your motivation, what's your why, and offer the option, you're needing financing to start or grow a business, then you've immediately created a funnel for your access to capital offering as well. Thank you, Elon, for that. Okay, and so Dion's talking, and I'll make this generic just to protect his lead source, but he has an association of realtors, and that's a really good idea. I've gone to a few realtor associations. Most towns and cities or areas have a realtors association, and even if you're not a realtor, you can join kind of as a vendor and get involved, and that would probably be a smart thing to do. But yes, Dion, we'd love to visit with the president of your area's realtor association and talk about how we can work with their realtors to educate. Now, just to clarify, we do not have content on home buying or on mortgages. That's not our expertise. My point here was, and Dion wasn't suggesting that, but my point here is that we can bring in the credit repair expertise and programming that allows the realtors and the loan officers to be able to sell more homes because they're overcoming the barrier. Thank you, Dion, for that question. Okay, and so Anthony's asking for the content, but Anthony, we covered the process, didn't we? Did you see the process right here, Anthony? This is the process that we follow. Thank you, Anthony. Barry says he's all in. Very good. This is good stuff. And what I would recommend is right now, if your area is not open, I would get started with online workshops. It'll be the most effective if you do team up with a realtor or a loan officer, but it's not required. If you don't have, unless you're a realtor or a loan officer yourself, if you're not a realtor nor a loan officer and you don't have one to collaborate with, then certainly I would just focus on straight credit 101, not the home buying portion. But this gives you a reason to be able to approach every realtor in your community, every loan officer in your community. Let them know who you are, what we do with the Credit Boost program, and see if they would be interested in collaborating. Maybe they'd be interested in doing online workshops. Maybe they'd be interested in doing in-person workshops, or worst case scenario, they could just be a referral source for you. All right, so the question is, if this was set up, how many speakers? Oh, I would just have yourself and one other speaker. It becomes too cumbersome and too long. So you know, she's doing did hers for 3 hours, 2 hours. And in this case, it was online, so it was less than 1 hour. But I wouldn't juggle getting, you know, a bunch of different speakers. It should be you as the credit literacy educator, and then either a realtor or a loan officer. You could work with a realtor, loan officer, and yourself and make it 3 of you, but that's fine. Okay, so thank you for that question. Theo asked. Okay, great. So I wasn't clear enough in that, Theo, and so I will be now. So on the Credit 101 workshop, the call to action at the end is to get a free credit analysis. And so, as you know, we're contracted directly with the bureaus. So we pull directly from the bureaus. We don't ask them to go send us a Credit Karma or Privacy IQ or any of those reports. We do a soft pull. So it's directly from the bureaus, no cost to them, and it's a soft inquiry. And so the call to action is we'll do the credit analysis with them. It's not your burden, but it's your lead, and you get credit for that. And then that will feed in to the boost program. So people that have bad credit in general know they have bad credit, but how the credit analysis is done will make a tremendous difference in the conversion. Because let's say, and Theo, you got great credit, so this is just using you as an example. But let's say that we do a soft pull on your credit, Theo, and we go through, and I can start to highlight, well, here's what your revolving utilization percentage is. Here's how many installment trade lines you have reporting in good standing, how many are revolving. We can look at the credit mix as well as the score. And so the more specific I am with you, Theo, about your credit profile, the probability of you enrolling in Credit Boost starts going up, 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 up. Because, man, I'm hitting it home. This isn't just some generic, oh, Credit Boost is great. It'll help boost your score with no upfront cost. I'm actually able to translate that into what it means to you and the impact to you. I had a client last evening really needed to pay down $5,000 on her credit cards to get the revolving utilization to where we would like it to be. And I just asked her, I'll say Susie. Susie, you got two options here to get the credit where it needs to be. Either get on the phone tomorrow and pay $5,000 down on your credit card, or tonight, let's enroll in the Credit Boost program with no advance cost, no upfront cost, and we'll issue new trade lines to dilute your utilization. Which of those two do you like better, Susie? Call everybody, pay $5,000 tomorrow, or enroll tonight and pay nothing up front. What do you think Susie did? She enrolled last night. So to answer Theo's question again, the call to action at the end of the workshop, so that's a perk. You attend the workshop, you get a free credit analysis. And so then we will do the soft credit pull, we'll do the analysis for you, and frankly, we're closing your leads for you, and you're getting full credit. You're making $300 to $500 for every person you feed in, Theo. And if you're not doing one a day, 30 a month, it's weak, right? So we need to fix it, because there's just absolutely no reason every one of our educators is not generating at least $9,000 to $10,000 a month with a very part-time effort. All right, so Theo, thank you for that question. Who else has questions about the Credit 101 workshop concept? It's primarily to build a funnel for Credit Boost clients. But by simply modifying your registration to not only include their name, their email, and their phone, but their why. Why is it that you want better credit? Is it to buy a home? Is it to get auto financing? Is it to get funding to start or grow a business? Or you can even put other on there if you want. But by adding that third one, you will build a funnel. Now, the truth is there's a large segment of our society that would like to start a small business or have even maybe it's home-based business, but they don't have the knowledge and or they don't have the capital. So my point is, in many of these folks' cases, it may not be their primary why. It may be to buy a home, certainly if we're using this type of marketing pitch or these types of pitches, but still probably 1 out of 5, maybe 1 out of 4 of these people, one of the two significant others, if there are two, is probably interested in having their own business. And that business could be, they could become a credit literacy educator of yours, right? So they work for you on your team, or they could simply be getting the credit they need and enrolling in access to capital to open a muffin shop or whatever else. Okay, Mr. Hawkins is asking, who should we try to make as credit literacy educators? So in other words, who are you trying to build into your team? So it would be fine if you're approaching realtors and loan officers to let them know, hey, we have an affiliate program. I don't know, Greg or Dan, if you'd be interested or not, but just so you know, we do have an affiliate program. And so any leads that you generate for us, if they enroll in the Credit Boost program, you'll be paid $3 per point of credit score increase, and we're averaging 100 points. So that'd be an extra $300 for you. I don't know that you understand how big of a deal this is, because the Dans, the Gregs, the Tierras of the world, as realtors, they have people that don't get pre-qualified that they can't help. So they've already exhausted the time and the effort to develop that client. Now they're not able to do anything with that client because they are not credit worthy. So for you to be able to take them, make them credit worthy, help them generate, for instance, an extra $300, plus get that prospect back to them to now go buy a home is magical for them, because you've taken an unqualified prospect and made them qualified. All right, well, Mark's asking about the whole auto dealership angle versus home ownership. Here's the truth. Anyone that has bad credit that goes into a dealership to buy a car, if they get declined, their normal purchasing behavior is they keep going to different dealerships and keep applying. And so often they won't delay or defer that gratification. They're going to keep shopping around, if at all possible, to buy a car. Secondly, the credit boost process isn't instant. We need to give it 30 to 60 days. The car that they were in looking for now is probably going to be gone, out of inventory in 30 to 60 days. So can you get referrals from car dealerships? Absolutely. But don't be fooled to think that we can have the same impact with auto buyers that we can have with home buyers, because home buyers are less likely to keep shopping around, and it's just not the same environment. So home buyers with bad credit would be the number one target audience for the credit boost, and working through realtors and loan officers is the smartest way to reach them. Now, don't be misled on this either. Most realtors and loan officers, they've been solicited many times by credit repair professionals, and I'm not speaking negatively of that. So my point is, you're not the first one that's called them and said, hey, I'd like to collaborate with you and help address the credit of your bad credit clients and prospects. You're not going to be the first. Now, you might be the first that's offered to do collaborative online or in-person workshops, but you probably are the first, certainly, of our approach, which is let's focus on adding new positive credit, which always works, and it works quickly, versus credit repair, which may or may not work in an unknown time period. All right, who has questions for me about what we covered? And we've got a real clear call to action. If this is something that you'd like to be involved with, email us your marketing plan. Let us know what your thoughts are, because we're not charging, for this. Don't feel like we're trying to sell you something. There's no fee to be doing this. You just need to be a credit literacy educator or joint venture partner. But what we want to do is attract the people that are action oriented. And the first prediction of action is letting us know, what's your plan? What do you plan doing with this? Because we have finite resources too, and we need to focus on working with those of you that are action oriented rather than just thinking. Theo asked, and I think this is probably our last question for this morning, timeline. So we have to work with credit reporting cycles. And so when we're adding trade lines, those trade lines need to report. And it's just safest to say 30 to 60 days. Could it happen sooner? It could, just depend upon the reporting cycle. But we really need to be consistent and say we can add on average 100 points in 30 to 60 days. Theo also asked how the clients will be notified. We'll do a soft pull every month. We'll review the participant credit boost participants' credit score, measure the improvement, and refine the strategy in terms of next steps. Maybe we need to add an AU to their account to hit that final goal or what have you. But the answer is we review their credit monthly, because that's how we get paid, that's how you get paid, and that's how we measure improvement. And then lastly, the question is, well, what happens if the client has a derogatory that hits during the process? Well, life happens, and so they're not kicked out. It's certainly, if they have a recent late payment or charge off or what have you, a new derogatory, that could throw off their scores. but that just makes us even more important because now we need to rebound from that. So ideally, clients wouldn't have new derogatories while they're in the program, but life happens. And if they do, then we just continue to work with them and build from there. Okay, so thank you all for your time. Today's discussion was hopefully practical, something that you can implement. If you're interested in teaching the Credit 101 workshops, either in person or online, you need to email us your marketing plan. Let us know what you're planning on doing. Don't email and just say, oh yeah, send me the flyer or send me the PowerPoint. We're not going to send it. We want to know what your plan is, what your 30-day plan is, because we need to focus our time on working with those of you that are action oriented. And if you have no plan, it's unlikely that you're going to be action oriented. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.